A concerned good night to my native land in Barbados and everyone in the Caribbean diaspora and around the world at the sound of my voice. What I want to say, I don't want to say that I told you so, although I have told you so many times. I'm speaking specifically to the Barbadian people, where crime and violence have spun out of control. And in spite of those who even recently, of a few days ago, think that education is common sense, it is not. Because when you are in denial of reality, that's ignorance. Of the person who called me ignorant and stupid and called me a monkey, climbing and exposing my rear end because I spoke out against the inefficiency and the recklessness of this mere administration, he see it fit to try to marginalize me. And I have decided not to make any more videos because my people fail to listen to God-given wisdom that will save them from the disasters that are befalling them. And about 2 years ago, I made a video where I called for tough love and severe penalties of 20 or more years for anyone caught with an illegal weapon, and 25 years minimum for those who use them to commit any crimes. And the government failed to do that. I call for the enforcement agencies in Barbados to do a stop and frisk and a broken windows like Giuliani did here to clean up New York City when he was in power, and stop the crime. While America now has the lowest crime rate in hundreds of years, and in my neck of the woods, you don't hear a shooting, you don't hear a stabbing, you don't hear carjacking. I can walk the road freely, go anytime I want to, without fear. It is not so in my native land. Why? Because you have an administration who say, oh, me cares. But me don't care a rat's ass about the young people who are dying, about the mothers who are crying, and about the aunts and uncles who are sighing. As she did, she would have not made pact with the gangs and make the gangs feel that they have all the rights to do what they want to do. When I called for a crackdown on the criminal activity, I was cussed at, I was marginalized. I had called for the young men to put down the sword of warfare and take the sword of the Spirit. That is God's word, and read it and have fear and reverence of God and love of their neighbor, and put the hate behind them. But when the government have taken God out of the driver's seat and put him in the trunk and close it, then there's no leadership and there's no guidance. There's no moral ethics to guide the nation. And what Barbados need is godly and ethical and moral leadership, which is not there with this administration. You have a godless heathen at the head of this administration, and therefore when you have demonism and obeah and witchcraft permeating the island right out of Parliament, you cannot have anything positive happening. You cannot get good from bad. It's impossible. So once again, I'm coming here to say what I have to say. I said in my last video that within 6 months of this corrupted, criminal, tyrannical administration, that things will spin out of control and the gangs will be ruling the streets. And it's already begin to happen. So 2 years ago when I called for tough measures and they had listened to my wisdom, this would not have occurred. And when I called on my people to throw out this corrupted criminal administration and I had done it, this would not happen. Because when the ruthless and the wicked rule, the people sigh. Now once again, I'm going to call on the young man there to put down the carnal sword and take the sword of the Spirit. The most wisest, knowledgeable person who ever lived, Christ Jesus, was once faced with a situation. And he said, put your sword away. Put your sword back in its place. He said to Peter. At Matthew chapter 26, verses 52 and John 18:11. Peter drew his sword and cut off the ear of the high priest. A violent act. But Jesus said, no, put that sword away, because he who lives by the sword will die by the sword. So if you all decide that you all are going to live by the guns, however you got them, the guns coming out of the corrupted defense force, coming out of the corrupted police department, who some are corrupted, the guns being stored in the mosque and brought in by the Indians, along with their other parts. And meal was seen coming out of the mosque, which is the storehouse of the guns and the drugs. Yes, the Indians and the Chinese is who is corrupting Barbados with this contraband to destroy the people for them to take over and have it all to themselves. So you all kill yourselves out, and we will have your land, we'll have your houses, we'll have your inheritance and your legacy for us. And I ask my people to wake up and see that is the plan. What the COVID didn't destroy, we're going to destroy you at your own hands with the guns and the drugs and the gang warfare. I have asked Mia already, Mia, how many more must die before you wake up to reality? How many more must die? And do you really care? No, you don't. Because when these things happen, no one's hear a single word from you. Not even a single word comes out of your mouth. You sitting down playing dominoes, talking about sixes, and this is this and your street gang thugs with you eating and drinking, your cult members. But what about the thousands of more people across the island who are suffering and losing their children and losing their family and crying and mourning like Rachel weeping for her children? And what are you doing? Absolutely nothing. You all know who these people are. You know who the gang members are. You know how the drugs is coming in. You know how the guns are being passed around. But you do nothing about it. Because you do not care about your people. Mia, you don't really care. You care about yourself and your cronies around you and your cult following around you. So the BLP is now the Bajan Life Liquidation Party. That's what it is now. You're liquidating the lives of the young men to make room for your open borders, for all your friends to be brought in who will vote for you and lick your ass and keep you in power. So I'm asking the Belgian men, put away the sword. Put it away. It's meant for you all to destroy one another. Why she get back and laugh? Because she have her replacements. The Venezuelans, the Chinese, the Indians, the Mexicans. Those are your replacement. She don't need you or care about you. So if you want to survive, if you want to remain in your own land and live in peace and harmony, you have to put down the sword of the spirit. Put that gun, take that gun and throw it in the ocean. That's what you have to do. That is not meant to help you. It's given to you to destroy you. When are you going to realize that? Jesus said, put it away. Because if you live by the sword, you'll die by the sword. And if you live by the gun, you're going to die by the gun. You're going to die by the drugs. And who is going to care except your weeping mother and father, your aunts and uncles, and your friends, wondering if they're going to be next? And who is doing it? You ain't seen no foreign people killing no foreign people. The Chinese, they're not killing the Chinese. The Mexicans are not killing the Mexicans. And all the foreign people. But you, who are stupefied, are destroying your own race. When are you going to wake up and realize that you have been fooled, you have been brainwashed to destroy yourself, to commit genocide on your own people, self-inflicted genocide? And we in the diaspora are saying, what is going on here? What is wrong with our people? This should not be so. Why did you replace hospitality for hostility? It's two different things. You have replaced hospitality for hostility. And instead of you're moving upward, you're going downward and degradation. You're degrading yourselves with the corruption that is going on in the government that sets a bad example. And now some of their ministers come out yelling and screaming, oh, this cannot go on. Yes, it was going on your nose for years and years, and you did nothing about it. You didn't give a damn about it. But you know, trying to save face, when you enable it, you're aiding and abetting it. The corruption starts at the top. Now, as I said before, unless Queen Jezebel Mia is removed from power by some means, the crime and the violence will not go away. Now again, I'm calling as before for a mass uprising in Barbados. I want a mass uprising with 5,000 people from every parish to take to the streets and demand that May resign and get the hell out of Barbados. She must not remain in power. She is your problem. You need strong, decisive leadership that really cares, and May do not care. She's the wrong person in the wrong time to lead this nation back to civility and tranquility and peace and love. So that in Revelation 3 it said, and you keep tolerating that woman Jezebel, and I will throw her into sick bed, and you will weep for your children. And you are weeping for your children right now, because you allow that evil, modern day Jezebel, to contaminate the land with witchery and demonic spells that has taken the lives of my people, and has the women walking about half naked. And it was the demons in Acts chapter 17 that beat the sons of Sceva and sent them in the street wounded and naked. All that is demonism. Losing yourself to the evil spirits. I ask you all to stop it. And the preachers have failed the nation. The majority of preachers and barbers have failed the nation by accepting bribes and failed to speak out. Like in the book of Micah chapter 2, it said there were, in chapter 2 and 3, it said there were, the judges were judging for bribe, and the priests also. You contaminated the word and failed to speak the word in its purest form, and be leaders to lead the people to morality. But they're joined in the immorality.
Call from Niger Maintenance.
And therefore, the situation has gone worse. Because if you remove a demon and allow it to come back, like keep letting me keep coming back in power, it said brings along 7 more demons, and the condition is worse than before. So the demon must be expelled. And that demon is Mia Amor Motley, must be expelled from power by a revolution in Barbados, so that the scourge should go away. That's the only way to end this violence, to end this crime. To have somebody who would lead the nation morally, ethically, and have a no-nonsense policy. And will stop the drugs and the guns and impose severe penalties for those doing so, and expel the unwanted infidels from out that island. Every Chinese must be expelled. Every Venezuelan must be expelled. Everyone not belonging there must be expelled from that island, so you can break the scourge of this violence. I'm calling for action. My people have to get up and save themselves. It's now or never. If you already had 30 murders for the year, and you all turn this around, by the end of the year, it'll be 100. How much more must die before you all wake up and realize that the nation is in crisis? I've said it over and over. You have a nation in crisis. It's in need of prayer. It's in need of moral direction. Get up and act. And realize that male does not care. You all have to care about yourselves and stop the violence. Put away the guns and learn how to love one another and live in peace and harmony, and get rid of Jezebel.